Welcome back to FlatsClass University, everyone. Today, we're going to learn about a lure, a sleeper bait. I mean, a bait that absolutely slays the speckled trout. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you right now. You're going to have to watch a little TV first. Jump in the boat with me and good friend Richard Brokoff, and I'll be back here in a minute and reveal everything. Specs, how we work it, everything. See you in a few. Can you hear that owl up there? It's actually a nesting owl with chicks up there. It's pretty cool. It's one of the reasons I live here on the Nature Coast. Yeah, it's a trout. He's trying to get to the front of that boat, isn't he? It's a good one too. Really good one. Wow, man. That's a good trout. Get them. Oh God, I am. Oh. Oh. Big trout. Mustard mouth. That's a good 18. Yep. Woo. All right. See if he did any damage to my disco ball here. That's what this reminds me of. That was a solid thump. All right, an auspicious start. We got cranked up right away. We're catching fish. But I want to explain a few things as we move deeper into the video and the action on the water. One thing I'm going to explain is my client is Richard Brokoff. Brokoff and I have been friends for over a decade. We've had a guide-client relationship and a friendship for a long time now. So we were out, and he's a member of my FlatsClass University. And we have a trout challenge going on right now with the Paul Brown Soft Dine XL. That's why we're working this bait. The challenge is you have to catch a 20.5 inch or better trout, max 24. You have to catch a 19-inch trout or better, max 24. And you have to catch a 16-inch trout, max 24. And then the whole group that is involved in the challenge, we're going to find out who's the trout master with those minimums in there. So it's a cool challenge. It's a very cool challenge. And yes, we are going to reward the one angler who does catch. I told everyone, take a picture of the largest fish, because if someone ends up striking, well, like Ron Lenve did before with a 29.5 in one of our challenges in 2024, look at this picture right here. If you get one like that, well, you still deserve quite a reward. So we have prizes for that as well. But let's get back to the bait. The Paul Brown Soft Dine XL really does play to your strengths as we get out of the winter, through the spring, and moving into early summer. So when I start getting water temperatures that are in the high 60s and we're moving into the mid 70s and sometimes a little warmer, this lure here really is a game changer. Because where you might put all your other Paul Browns into boxes and put them back on the shelf thinking that, oh, I'm not going to need those until next winter, this one should stay active for you. Its sub-walk ability underneath the water is just unparalleled. It's really the only thing I have in my Mirrolure lineup that really competes with this is my Catch 2000, honestly. It's 3 1/4 inches long, so it's the perfect size, matches the bait for this time of year. Looks very pinfish or shad-like. It weighs 5/8, so man, can you kill it on a cast. I mean, you just kill it. Cross the wind, into the wind, downwind. It just, you can send this. It's insane how good this thing casts. And then to work the bait, all you have to do is shake that tip, couple of click, click, clicks, and then a turn or two on the rod. Take some slack up, stop. It's that stop that gets that trout to strike it. Whew. Cast it again, just keep working it. So it takes a little while to get in. Richard was having a challenge with it at first. He did catch some dinks because he was working it really fast. Caught a lot of trout. I'm going to say a ton of trout. He even said, I think I caught my smallest trout today, between 10 inches and about 16 inches. He caught a lot of them early in the day, but he just was working it too fast. I told him to slow down. When he was slowing down, he was getting hung up because the tide was low and we were working on an incoming tide. I said, I'll tell you what, let's put you on a weedless EWG with a jerk shad for a little while and let you work that, catch a couple of fish on that, get in a rhythm, and then as the tide comes up, switch you back to this bait. Because this bait, if you can get confidence in it, you won't put it down. And that's exactly what happened. If I'm gonna give you a pro tip with these, is make sure that your back is aligned after every catch, because if it gets twisted, it will not work right. And also, take the time with your pliers to mash these barbs down on the trebles. It's a lot easier taking the fish off, and it's a lot easier when they're in the net. It just comes right out and there's no problem at all, and you don't lose any fish. And this thing is weighted perfectly to sink slow. Has a nice little rock when it comes back down. Also in these baits, if you really listen, there's a sonic rattle chamber in them that gives them that little bit of sound that you want, especially when you're working on those windy points. It's got a nice reflective piece inside that gives it some flash. Now, there are models that are opaque and have no flash at all, and I like those a lot, especially when the water gets a little bit cloudy. But this has been really a sleigh bait this whole spring for me. We've caught a lot of fish in the 20 to 24 inch range. In fact, you're about to see a big one caught right now. Go to the water and I'll see you back here in a minute. I'm gonna stop us. Keep your balance. He was just laying there on that rock and I threw right on it. And I actually threw about 3 feet to one side of him. It's a big trout too. It's a big trout. That is a big one. That one's gonna be well over 20.
That's the one I needed to challenge.
Yeah. Who would have guessed could get him on this bait in this shallow water? Oh. He does not want to come to the net. He finds a way to, there we go. Wow. That is a big trout. That is a big trout. Almost sitting on the rocks. Let me see if I can get him undone here. Get my pliers out and unhook. This is a trout. That's a big one. Let's see how long he is before we release him. He is going to be 23 inches. 23 inch trout. Whoa. That is a gorgeous fish. Yep. Don't sleep on those Softine XLs. Whew. They will get you. Unbelievable. I think what made that cool is he was just there where you could see him. Oh yes. Oh, here we go. All right, I'm gonna drop the pin. You just keep your balance. Richard is hooked up again. That puts us at what number now? 18?
18.
Look at that. Decent fish. That bait went right up the deal again, didn't it?
Right up the deal again.
That's okay, I can fix that.
That one that went in the tree, the snook.
Yep. Oh God, she about killed me on that one. Another nice trout. That puts us up around 18. A little disco ball here is hot.
16.
Oh, that is a hot bite today on these. Hot bite on these. All right, buddy. In you go. Whoa. Sitting there in the cut. Are they not pretty here, those trout?
Yep.
They are pretty and good size too. What number?
19.
19. We're working on it. We got time.
Decent trout.
Yep, good looking trout. Just kind of wanted it gliding down. Here, I'm coming down for you. That's a nice trout. Get the net. Woo! Look at that.
He's gonna count. He's challenge.
Yeah, he's gonna count. Look at that. Bounced off right in there.
See that?
Yeah, he's gonna count the challenge. Wow, nice fish. All right, let's measure him.
I'm gonna take a picture of him, right?
Yeah, we got to get that plug out of the dirt, but I'm gonna just see. Oh yeah, he's gonna give you the one better than 16, or maybe even 19. Oh, it's a nice trout. Another nice trout on that thing. Here, I get the net. I don't know how you have this hooked up in the tide, but I'm pulling pretty hard. Oh yeah, it's a good looking trout. Another one in that same type of class. Wow. Oh.
16.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let me get in there behind the ears. He has, I think you got, the only thing you're going to need left is going to be a 21 and a half, or that 20 and a half.
20 and a half.
Which you actually did catch, you just caught it on the wrong bait. All right. There you go. Yeah, that one there is close to the last one. 18 and a half. Okay, as you can see, Richard is changing back to the Paul Brown Softeen XL, and it's making a difference. But I want to share with you one thing. The rod that you have to use this. Now, he brought his own rod on board, but for me, if I'm going to throw this bait, it is important that you have the right rod to line to lure balance to work these properly. In my opinion, you're going to have a spinning rod setup for most of you. I use casting gear, but that's me. Most of you are going to have spinning rods, and they're going to be between 7 foot and probably 7'4". That gives you some accuracy to throw to targets, but it also gives you plenty of distance. I prefer the 7-foot rods just because I think I can throw a little cleaner and I don't get as many tip wraps with lighter braid. I'm using 10-pound diamond micro braid with these, and I'm tying on a 4-foot leader with an FG knot to this bait. Now, the leader material that we're using is fluorocarbon. It's 15-pound, but a lot of that is for sensitivity, and fluorocarbon line is thinner than monofilament leaders, so it's harder for the fish to see. And you just have more feel with fluorocarbon, less stretch on the hook set. And you can just reel into these fish because these hooks are very fine wire hooks. So you can just reel into the fish. You don't really have, you didn't see him really hook set hard. It was just like he was tight and he was on, and he was not losing fish at all. He really wasn't. So that's what I suggest. So we're using 7'4" rods. We're using these rods from Fitzgerald. They've been fantastic brand for us. Very true action. You want a medium fast. So medium weight, fast action does the best job for these. Mash those barbs down. Well, and enjoy the rest of the show.
We got something here, I think maybe a redfish.
But it's a
trout.
It's a trout.
It's like 20 and over, I think.
Oh boy, wouldn't that be the deal? Wouldn't that be the deal? Keep him tight.
I'm trying not to screw this one up.
He's running a little drag. Nice looking fish. Another nice looking fish on that bait. Where is he? I don't want to grab that. Woo! It's going to be another one that's probably around 1920. It's going to be real close. It's going to be real close. This thing catches them, doesn't it?
22. Yes, sir.
This thing catches them. Whoop, got it. Okay. I think it has to be 20 and a half, and it's 20.
Well, that still counts.
It's still a great fish.
I still need that.
Yeah. I'll get your camera out.